If you are a woman who wants to create more this year, but not at the cost of yourself, then this is for you. So it's already Q2, and a lot of business women out there, or perhaps you're in a corporate career, you are looking at your next level. If you have a business, you've got everything down, working, but you know that you have more to give and you have more potential, and there is so much more for you. And yet, you have doubts that if you go to that next level, if you want to earn more, have more income, or go for a higher salary, perhaps in a corporate career, then it means more responsibility, more pressure, more work. And guess what? You are already the strong one, holding it all together, already very busy. Your plate is completely full. And so now you're wondering that I want more. I want more income. I want to make more impact. I want to go to my next level. But how do I do that without burning out? Is it actually possible to earn more without working more? It is possible. Now, business and life and corporate career, it doesn't really matter. Everything is very demanding. We live in a super busy world. And you have to make the effort. So we all have to make the effort in our businesses, especially businesses can be so demanding, and working up the corporate ladder, climbing up the corporate ladder demands you to be present in many ways. And so a lot of times we as women especially are wearing a lot of hats. We're wearing 17 hats. So how do we get to our next level but without working more? Well, here's the trick. So what you don't realize is that if you're already holding everything together, juggling business, family, kids, all of that, the trick is not to go to that next level by adding more to your plate. You already have enough on your plate. It's not about more strategies, more funnels, adding more journaling, more affirmations, more doing, because that is a surefire way to lead to burnout. And I've been there, trying to juggle it all together, doing it all myself, being the responsible one, being the strong one. But in the end, it actually holds you back from your goals or the income you're trying to achieve or the goal you're trying to achieve. So, how do you earn more without working more? How do you get rid of this fear that more work means more responsibility, more pressure? There is something called a fear of success. So, the reason why this happens is because we're all products of our surroundings, our environment. And we are picking beliefs, our values, and our view of the world and how things are supposed to feel like when it comes to our beliefs from the world around us. So it's usually when you're born as a child, you're absorbing a lot of beliefs from your parents, from your carers, from your school, from your society and culture. And what happens is that these become invisible rules that say, work hard. If you want to be successful, you have to work hard. And I'm not disagreeing with that. We all have to put in the effort. But the question is, does it need to be a struggle? No, it doesn't have to be a struggle. And it all starts with actually self awareness and looking at yourself. What are those beliefs that you're holding that are holding you back and keeping you circling on that level, holding it together, being everything for everyone, knowing that you have full potential and yet not really reaching it? It feels within reach. You feel like you're there, but something is blocking you. So what other beliefs do we get? We acquire from our childhood. We have to work really, really hard to be successful. We have to work really, really hard for money. And especially for women, don't be too much, don't ask for too much. And somehow, if you ask for something for yourself, you're really, really selfish. You worry about how you will be perceived. There is a fear of judgment. So there's this internal turmoil within you That although on one side you want more, but then there's all these unconscious beliefs that have become part of you, part of your identity, part of your nervous system. Because as we are growing up in childhood, children don't have logic. They're just absorbing everything they hear. So if you learned how to brush your teeth while growing up, then that becomes programmed in your mind and you just do that behavior automatically. So similarly, if you heard around you constantly that and saw around you constantly that you have to really really work hard, if you're not burning out, then you're not successful, and we have to work really really long hours for money, and money doesn't grow on trees, and all those beliefs, then they become like brushing teeth, they become part of you, an automatic behavior. And so, on one hand, this might be the reason why you're so successful already and it got you so far in business. But I know this is true for so many women who are in their midlife or going to their next level. You have your kids, you've got your business, you've got your family, or you've got your partner, whatever your situation is, and you really worked hard to get there, but now you're thinking, oh my god, I want more. I know I have more in myself, but I don't want that pressure. And you're thinking, is this what I want for the next 10 to 20 years of my life? So if you're wanting to break free, the fastest way to break free is to look at your blind spots. What are your patterns? What are your beliefs that are creating patterns in your life that makes you hold everything together, always being the strong one and putting yourself last, pleasing others, and working really, really hard for your next level, your income level, whether it's corporate or business, and yet feeling like, what am I missing? Why does it feel so hard? It feels so hard because you're fighting and you're going against the stream, against your subconscious wiring. So, what is subconscious wiring? I just mentioned, as a child, you're absorbing a lot of beliefs. So, you've acquired beliefs like don't be too much, don't be selfish, don't make it about money. And when you have these beliefs, when you want to go to that next level, when you want to put some boundaries, when you want to say no, let's say you have a client and you want to put boundaries, maybe you are being dumped a lot of work and you want to put boundaries. If you have that belief internalized, it becomes part of your subconscious, and the subconscious is automatic. Like I said, you learn how to brush teeth, it goes in permanently, really. And it becomes part of your behavior, natural behavior. So if you have these beliefs internalized, they go into your subconscious and they become wired into your deep psychology, even your body. So a mind and body are connected. So if you have this belief, inherent belief that I should work hard, or working hard is the only way, then that's how you show up in your business. In a corporate environment, you're the overworker, saying yes to all the projects, hesitating to delegate, thinking that you are the only one who can handle this. No one can do this better than you. And these are simply behaviors, and these behaviors can be changed. So, the fastest way to earn more without working more and without burning yourself to the ground in the process is by rewiring these unconscious patterns, which have now become part of your nervous system, of your body. So, how do you rewire them? Now, the fastest way and the quickest way to rewire your subconscious is using techniques that work directly with this deep mind. So, before I go into that, there is a part of us, a part of our mind, which is conscious, moving your arms up and down, making decisions. Those are your executive functions. And you do them consciously, you're very aware of them. And that's 5% of your mind. And then there is another 95% of your mind, which is subconscious, our breathing, our nervous system. And involuntary actions, our beliefs, our values, our fears, our creativity, all of that is located in our subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is so large for efficiency. It's 95% because it's for efficiency because you don't have to think about it, just like the brushing teeth example. And so, what I do with my clients and what I do in my work is, for example, you're a woman who wants to go to that next level. And I recently worked with a client. She is a well established business owner and she has some new ideas and some new dreams. But her biggest problem was she was not putting herself out there. So she had opportunities, she had people she could speak to, clients who could be potentially signing up with her, even though she was starting a new business. She was already there and she just had to move through her connections. And yet, she was not selling herself unconsciously. So she would put herself in a situation where she would have a conversation with a prospect, but then actually not actively selling herself. And the reason why she was doing that is because unconsciously she had a belief that, oh, if I get it, I'm going to be really, really busy. What about my life? What about my kids? What about my lovely holidays? What about all this stuff? I work so hard to build all this. And if I get it, then it's just going to get more harder for me. And this belief is unconscious. So the way I work is, and what I did with this particular client is to relax. I use a method, which is my own proprietary method called the rewire method, where we first reveal what is actually happening. So we investigate what is the belief, and then we rewire it. We get to the root cause of the belief, we investigate, and then we interrupt that belief. So we rewire it through rapid transformation techniques. And then using embodiment and visualization, we reinforce. So I give my clients a recording to listen to, which rewires these patterns. So for this particular client, her belief was, if I take on her problem was that, she was going in sales conversations, but she wasn't really selling herself. She was almost, the way she described it is that I wish I don't get it, almost. And so this was actually stopping her from going to her next level, because there was an underlying belief that it means more work. So we got to the root cause of that belief, and we changed it. Then you listen to a recording every single day, which is again rewiring and reprogramming your mind. And I also support with coaching, which means that when a real life situation happens and you get triggered, you learn how to manage yourself as well. So the technique is really, really fast. That's one of the best things. And I highly, highly support anyone who works with their subconscious or subconscious reprogramming. And nothing against coaching. Coaching is great, but the fastest way to rewire and reprogram your mind is by working within your subconscious mind, not the conscious mind, not the 5%. If you want to create 95% results in your life, you have to rewire that 95% subconscious. And once that's done, decisions become easier. You understand the root cause of why you were stuck in the first place. Because not everyone has the same beliefs. Your environment, your culture, your society, wherever you grew up, shape that. So it's very personal to you. And this is why generic affirmations and generic visualizations don't work. You can sit every day chanting that I'm a money magnet and I'm amazing, but if subconsciously you don't really believe it, you feel resistance, and that shows up as procrastination, as delaying tactics, and as in the case of this client, not really selling herself in opportunities because of that underlying belief. So in order to so the results are quite rapid. Within 30 days from the first session, you can start feeling the shifts, and so not a lot needs to change. You don't need to do journaling. You don't need to do affirmations, because they don't stick, because they're not your, that is not your root cause. So that's the beauty of working with the subconscious. So if you found this useful, well, before that, so what does life look like after? So first of all, change can happen within the first session, and everyone changes in different ways. Sometimes change is immediate, sometimes change is cumulative, sometimes it's retroactive, meaning you look back and you realize how much you've changed. But within the first session, you can start feeling immediate shifts, positive shifts. Within 30 days, your brain is going to start giving you different ideas. You're going to start embodying that new version of you. And within 90 days, you can really, really start to see changes in your behavior. You're not using your willpower anymore. And for this lady, what this looked like was she understood what was actually holding her back from showing up. And when she understood that root cause and listened to her recording and did the embodiment and built her confidence, she understood that that was an older version of her who had this story. But the new version of her wants to build a business and her life on her terms. And it's all about a belief system. And so when she changed her belief system, that I can have what I want on my terms, the way I want it. Yes, I understand that, business is always requires effort and consistency, and I'm not afraid of that, but I'm not going to let my old beliefs dictate how my next level of life and business looks like. And so, very quickly, those changes can happen. And I also, in my program, we continue to rewire any blocks that come up, because it's never one thing in business or in corporate environment. It's lots of things. It's your self-esteem, it's your inner critic, it's your confidence, it's your self-worth. It's fear of being seen, fear of visibility, fear of judgment, money mindset. So in my program, we work across all those areas, so you get a more rounded, more deep transformation, and you can truly, truly build a life and business on your terms. And yes, it is possible to earn more without working more. And there are many examples of people who did that. That is a journey that I'm on myself as well. So if you want to go deeper, if you want to know a bit more about how rapid transformation techniques and the rewire method can help you in this quarter to get to your next level, if you're someone who's feeling stuck and feeling like, okay, I'm holding everything together, I'm doing so much, why does it feel so hard? And is this what my life looks like? But if you want to make a change, if you're ready to commit, and if you want to go deeper, I highly recommend that we have a chat. So if you want to have a chat with me, DM ready, and I will get back to you, and I will send you some details as well. I think that's everything. So you know where I am. So yeah, just DM me ready, or comment ready to this feed, and I will let you know how to take this forward. One thing I will say closing is never hesitate in having a conversation. Um, a conversation, at best, you will get a perspective. I'm offering a diagnostic to most of people who want to know about this deeper. So, in this diagnostic, what we do is we look at what's working, what's not working, and what needs to change. So, you will leave with some clarity around that as well. So, yeah, if you want to go deeper, DM me ready or comment ready, and I will get back to you with full details. Have a lovely Friday and have a lovely weekend. Take care.